Might help if I wasn't muted, huh? So many problems. Every damn time. Every time. Hey, y'all, how goes it? Levi. Oh my god, that's creepy as hell. Oh. My gosh. That is. It jiggles. That was so creepy. I'm going to have to show these off. So I had to get my live reaction to this, but you guys, oh, you can't see it because the fucking lighting sucks ass. Oh, there's a bubble in there. The eye moves. Their eye moves. Oh, it eye moves. Oh my god. That is by far the best. I'm so doing a video on these. I don't. Yeah, liquid core. I've never had a liquid core dice. Surprisingly enough, I've never cared for them because if they freeze, you're screwed. Christopher, hey, Dark Wolf, Levi Markin, hey everyone. So a Minecraft movie review, no spoilers. Go watch it. That's what it boils down to. If you got kids, especially, they're gonna love it. If you watched old school Jack Black, you're gonna like it. I'm not gonna say you're gonna love it because like this was definitely made for a generation that grew up on Minecraft, who is deep into the lore of Minecraft. However, it's not to say that this isn't a movie that you can't go to and still enjoy without ever touching the game. You can most definitely watch it and enjoy it. So on my I gotta edit this. So we'll present this, but I'm gonna edit this video so that it can be posted on the channel. Right? Christopher, I would highly suggest if you're able to watch it this week, that's gonna be the best time frame because you're still gonna have people who are going to it that are gonna be clapping in the audience. There was clapping in the audience. Clapping, laughing. It was that good. And it wasn't a packed theater. That was one of the things that was really nice about that. I would love that too. I would have made it big if that was the case. So a Minecraft movie, we just got done watching it, and it was a over-the-top, completely insane, and relatively good. It was basically an old-school Jack Black movie. You liked it?
Yes.
What was your favorite part, without spoilers? This is where I have to like cut it and then move forward because he had trouble. Ah, that's a spoiler.
Actually,
no. When the Iron Golem shut up.
When the Iron Golem beats up the big piglin.
When the Iron.
No, I'm gonna do it differently.
Right here.
When the Iron Golem beats up the big piglin.
When the Iron Golem shut up.
Yes.
Okay. I don't think that's a big spoiler, but I'll show. Don't do that. We'll get the oldest's opinion once they get out of their movie theater. They watched it in 3D. We did it in 2D, and I enjoyed it. Yeah, we had people clapping. Yeah, we had people clapping. It was much better than I thought it was going to be. So agreed.
So we're gonna go home. She's gonna read fanfic. I'm gonna draw them kissing. I'm gonna draw scenes from the fanfics.
But you guys went in with...
So we're gonna go home. This is gonna be fanfic. I'm gonna draw them kissing.
So you guys can't hear it. I'll turn up the volume so you guys can hear them. Yeah, we had people clapping. Yeah, we have people clapping. Let's see here. Yeah, we had people clapping. Yeah, we have people clapping in our... I had a brain. Yeah, we had people clapping. Yeah, we have... Yeah, we have people clapping in our... It was much better than I thought it was going to be. So, agreed. Much better than I thought it was going to be. So,
We're gonna go home. This is gonna be fanfic. I'm gonna draw them kissing. I'm gonna draw scenes from fanfics.
just the dad moment of...
We're gonna go home. This is gonna be fanfic. I'm gonna draw them kissing.
Clip that. Go here. Go there. But you guys went in with low expectations, came out understanding why Jack Black became so famous. Yeah. Okay. Now we equalize the volume across the board. See if that pulls up the volume on certain sections. Yeah, so it's in theaters right now, and you can go watch it in 3D or 2D. If your tickets are $17, I'm not going to suggest that. I pay $10 a month for tickets. My theater, Cinemark, does like a $10 a month thing. You get a ticket, right? We don't go to the theater very often, and so I've built up like a cache of tickets that periodically I will use. And there was a year when because I've had this for a few years now since they came out with it. I started doing it. There was one year where it was like I used up all of them and had to pay tickets, but I get a discount on top of it. That was the only year that I've had an issue. This upcoming year, there's like 2 or 3 movies that we are actually thinking of seeing, and that could wind up eating all my tickets. But I will say you should definitely go watch it. It's good. So Mark, I'm gonna say this. There were a lot of people who didn't want to see this, that expectations were very low because it was not something that a lot of people wanted in the first place. There's a spider that decided to make its nest on my desk. I'm sorry. This is not... No. This is not where you live. You do not live on my desk. You can live there. You can live all over there. You do not live on my desk. You will die. By the way, if you transport a spider too far anyways, it's going to die. So, but yeah, so this is... Sorry. I'm not a big fan of spiders. I still think that the movie that we should have gotten should have been completely animated. I think if they did a How to Train Your Dragon style animation with the Minecraft movie, that and having voicing and that kind of stuff, I think that would have been cool. What they did turned out really decent. No, but they showed so like we got 2 because I live in the Mormon capital. We had two back-to-back ads on Jesus movies. One was an animated one where the cat captured everyone's heart, and I was like, ah, crap, I don't want to go watch a movie about Jesus of Nazareth, but I also don't want to, but I also, that cat's cute. And then they literally did another one that was more serious, and I was like, oh, that's kind of... Hey, Chris, how you feeling?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. So, Chris, he was the first one I told about the movie, and like when I told him like what I thought, he was like, "Really, really?" Because when I was going to the theater, I was like, "You need to pray for what little sanity I have." And I was prepped and ready to like ignore the movie. I had my I went and bought a what's called a books. It's essentially a Kindle without being a Kindle because I didn't want to be on the Amazon only thing. I wanted to have other options. And I finally got the settings to where it doesn't make me motion sick to read it, which was, I didn't even know a thing that you could happen with e-ink screens because I've been using e-ink for years with Amazon. And what was the one that Barnes and Noble came out with? The Nook. Yeah, the Nook, and I've had the Amazon Kindle. My Nook died, and I got a Kindle, and I've had that one for years. And my kid stole that one, so I finally broke down and I was like, okay, I need a new one. But so I had that in there, and I opened up Dresden, and why it was glitching on me. I was like, okay, well, why it's glitching, I might as well watch the show. I was in between that and watching, and I was like laughing in between me trying to get ready, and I was like, I can't pay attention to my ebook because I'm actually enjoying the movie. and within the first like I think 20 minutes, there's a meme that happens with Jason Momoa saying, "Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something." That broke it. I paid attention to the rest of the movie after that. Hands down, it is a Jack Black movie. It is Jack Black having fun. It reminds you of his old school movies because he's got his little singing parts in and everything, and people are making fun of his singing a little bit in there, which is funny in its own right. And absolutely, go watch it with somebody who understands Minecraft.
Excuse me.
Go watch it with a kiddo. I had so much fun watching Tobias's reactions. Like, this was one of his reaction. At the end, there's a part that's scene where the villager speaks. It's all over TikTok, right? And he speaks within that one voice actors from the vampire show. And Tobias had not seen that bit of the trailer yet. So it was a legitimate surprise to him when that villager spoke like that. And he out loud for the entire theater, "What the?" There were more people laughing at him than they were at that part of the
nice.
So it was really fun. If you've got kids, I highly suggest it. I really do. But
my oldest may want to get taken to it now.
It's a fun movie. Here's. Let me see if I can get the parts that I need to get volume up on. And I think that might have done it. Okay. So a Minecraft movie, we just got done watching it, and it was a over-the-top, completely insane, and relatively good. It was basically an old-school Jack Black movie. You liked it?
Yes.
What was your favorite part, without spoilers?
Iron Golem beats up the big piglet.
When the Iron Golem shut up?
Yes.
Okay. I don't think that's a big spoiler, but I'll show. Don't do that. We'll get the oldest's opinion once they get out of their movie theater. They watched it in 3D. We did it in 2D, and I enjoyed it.
Like during
Yeah, we have people clapping in our. It was much better than I thought it was going to be.
So we're gonna go home. She's gonna read fanfic. I'm gonna draw them kissing.
But you guys went in with low expectations, came out understanding why Jack Black became so famous. Yeah.
That entire movie.
Very cool. You're muted.
Yeah, and so that was like having that moment of like kids understanding like why Jack Black became so famous.
Yeah.
Was one of those things for sure.
Like during
Yeah, we have people clapping in our. It was. They should be able to reduce noise in all the clips now.
Yeah, I don't know about the rest of you, but for those of you who watch anime, not to totally change subject, I am, other than Fire Force Season 3, I am underwhelmed by the new anime this season, particularly ones that have had their first episodes dropped. There was one that was supposed to come out, and I'm not going to give any spoilers, called To Be Hero X, with ridiculous, incredible animation in the trailer. There isn't a way for me to properly express how disappointed I am in that series after it got about 10 minutes in. If you see it, you'll understand.
In your opinion, is the Minecraft movie worth the ticket cost? Depends on what you're paying, because it does vary per location. I've said this at the beginning. If you're paying $17 per ticket, don't do that. I don't think it's worth $17 per ticket. I think if you go to a matinee showing, and it broke box office records. It's a hot it's doing really well. But it's breaking box office records during a time when tickets are the highest that they've ever been.
I enjoyed the first 3 episodes of that. It was fun. It's not a season defining show, but it's fun. It feels like the same level of show as I'll solo the final boss if I get to click out of work on time. Was last season, which was fun. It was fun to watch. It was enjoyable. But it's definitely going to be, a shorter series.
We only have 2 people over at. If you guys have Twitch, real quick, if you guys want to pop over there and hang out over there, Rusty is virtually by themselves. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that was disappointing. I'm looking forward to My Hero Academia Vigilantes. That should be interesting. Black Butler, I can't stand. If you like Black Butler, awesome. I don't like the series, so I'm not excited about the new episodes of that.
I've got mixed feelings on it. It has been so long on some of the stuff that's getting like another season. It has been so, like, if we had gotten that when Black Butler was popular, even like a year or so afterwards, I could see that being a thing, right? But I liked the show, kind of. There's some moments in it I'm like I've gotten older, and I'm like, that probably shouldn't be a thing. But it's something that my oldest likes to watch still. And I was like, I kind of watched it. You got to remember how old some of these that are getting into this season are, and I'm like,
I tried watching the beginning of Black Butler, and I felt like I was reading,
Garth, do not give me any. Do not give any spoilers. We're going to be watching.
No. I felt like I was watching an anime that was written by a fanfic writer who was in his early teens.
Yeah.
The dialogue, the dialogue and the writing, what was happening, I was like, this is not
the
enjoyable.
Manga isn't any better. I'm going to be honest with you. The manga is not any better, and there's even moments in there that are like, oh, that's good.
Yeah.
But
So I like
So Darth
I'm
Netflix Devil May Cry is Groans. I'm gonna say this: we're gonna go watch it, and I'm someone who has a background on Devil May Cry. I've played the games, I've watched them be played. They're one of the few games that I can actually watch somebody else play. So that says a lot because I usually don't like watching other people play.
Apparently 4 episodes out already.
So we're gonna go and we're gonna watch that. Not today because we're live everywhere. But me and Chris are gonna pick out a time. We hope to do this with the members that are, if you're a member of the channel or something, we hope to watch it with you all. But that may not be something that we can do. Either way, we're gonna at least try to record our reaction, even if it's just, hey, Levi, I've got an hour. There's not really enough time to schedule this out. Do you want to watch Devil May Cry with me? And yeah, we're gonna set it up and we're gonna go watch it, and that way you guys get our honest reactions. And I hope it's inviting to new people, even if it's way different than the games. I have read the manga Devil May Cry that came out and some of the other works that came out, and they were vastly different than the game. So I take it with a grain of salt. As long as they keep Dante as Dante, I think it'll be fine. And this isn't even the first iteration. Some people may not know this. This isn't even the first iteration of Devil May Cry being out. It's just the largest version of it being.
There was an anime several years ago, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like a movie or something like that.
Yeah. Well, so another anime being really hyped this season was The Beginning After the End, which they're pitching as basically the next Jobless Reincarnation. The first episode was horrible. I hated it. Never seen Apothecary Diaries.
It's not bad, but I've read the manga, and I'm okay with it being an anime. But from what I've seen, which is TikTok has spoiled a lot of it for me, like full on, like I might as well have watched an episode. It's not the manga, and I think it's got its own audience. I think it's going to be good, but it's not going to be good for people who there's going to be people who go into that thinking it's more action than what it is.
Right.
And it's a slice of life.
Oh yeah. They're making Anne of Green Gables into an anime called Anne Shirley. The animation looks like 1980s. Honestly, Anne of Green Gables is a great story. I'm interested to check it out. It's on Crunchyroll. Bye Bye Earth was a 7 out of 10 series 2 seasons ago. I'm looking forward to season 2. I liked episode 1, but it's not a season-defining show. Yes, I have seen the Ranma 1/2 remake. I thought it was great. I thought it was super fun.
I went in to watch some of it, and I think this is partial to the fact that there was a decent enough quality increase with the original 1/2. That when I went to go watch the remake, I was like, this is, I don't need to watch this. And I'm having the same struggle, mind you. And that does say something. So let me say this. The new Rama 1/2 is effectively Rama 1/2, the original, but updated everything.
Updated animation, yeah.
Yeah. And there was a point with the original Rama 1/2 that they updated the animation as well. Quote unquote, what they did is they did a quote unquote upscaling. But I watched the upscaling and I was like, oh, this is pretty nice. There is not, in my opinion, a reason for me to watch the new one after watching the upscaling. If I had gone from the original really crappy animation, let's be honest, all the way to the remake, it would have been worth it. But I'm like, I've seen the upscaling.
I appreciate the new animation. And being someone who has never seen Ranma 1/2 before, this is my introduction to it. So I enjoyed seeing the story unfold because I didn't know what happened.
It's the same reaction I'm having to How to Train Your Dragon, the live action. We watched the trailer in the theater, and I like, me and Tobias got optimistic. Raven is optimistic. Raven wants to go see it. Tobias wants to go see it. And I'm like, the only problem I have with this is I don't like the Hiccup casting. He's not lengthy enough. He does not give off the Hiccup vibes. I have no problem with anyone else in the casting. And it is a 1-to-1 remake of the animation.
Yeah.
Like even the full trailer, because I've seen parts of the trailer on TikTok, but like start to finish trailer, I was like, this is if they decided to, this is a 1-to-1. I don't really want to watch. If I wanted to watch a 1-to-1, I might as well just pop in the really good animated, because it's a good animation to begin with, How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah.
I think it'll be worth seeing in the theaters with my kids. I will probably not buy it.
Yeah. They're doing they're doing a remake like Ranma with Rurouni Kenshin. But being that I saw the original Kenshin, I'm not enjoying the remake as much because it really is, a lot of it's just an updated animation. What's up, Kate? What? Okay, cool. So that's been harder for me to watch because I know the story. There's an anime that came out 2 seasons ago called Windbreaker, which is basically a competitor to Tokyo Revengers, which I don't like the art style of Tokyo Revengers. I haven't watched it. I enjoyed the first couple episodes of Windbreaker season 1. I didn't finish it. I think that if I had watched the whole thing and liked it, I'd be all for it. But the idea of just high schoolers brawling sounds like The Outsiders, the anime, and it's just.
I did have one moment in the theater today where a fight almost broke out. Like after we had gotten out of the theater and we were waiting for Raven, a fight almost broke out between some kids, and like the mom was trying to stop their much larger teen from very obviously getting into another fight, and these other two talking shit against that guy. And I was like, I tried to stop it by just hollering and whatnot, and that didn't work because I was like, I whistled and I was like, hey, Total Drama Island, split it up. And that did nothing. I literally had to get in between the two that were slowly advancing, and I was like, I recognized the kid that was willing to throw down. I know that look.
Yeah.
I 100% knew what was going to happen, and it wasn't him getting on the ground. It was going to be the two people. So I was like, I don't want to deal with this. I've got a small child. I'm going to call the cops if you guys don't walk away. Why do we got to walk away? I was like, you need to walk away.
The one concern, Darth Geist, with Tenjo Tenge is it is the manga is effectively rated R, nearly on the border of NC-17 with how it treats. I mean, it's on the border of being inappropriate, right? You can do that. Yes, you can totally do that. But Tenjo Tenge, that said, the anime did not do the manga justice. Great fights, and they just ended it at a horrible place. I would love to see that remade with the fights and without all of the inappropriateness that's in it.
Do you know an anime / manga that I think not only didn't need a remake, but honestly didn't need to continue whatsoever? And there's going to be a lot of people who aren't going to be happy with what I say. Hunter Hunter. Hunter x Hunter.
It
should not have.
I've enjoyed what I've seen of Hunter x Hunter. I was never nuts about it.
The biggest problem I have is that it has glorified pedophilia in it. So unless they decide to change that, I'm never.
I don't know where that is in the storyline. I haven't seen enough of it.
That clown guy that goes after Gon or whatever.
I don't.
Yeah. Creepy clown guy. Yeah. They know what I'm talking about.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah. And it is a full adult going after a child.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. And there's a lot of jokes on it on the internet, but even people who do the jokes are like, this is really bad. This is like, they acknowledge this.
I struggle with it. It's fun. It's another shonen about an overpowered kid on his overpowered adventures with his overpowered friends.
Pretty much. I would love, and this sucks because I love this genre, but it has saturated it too much. I would love for them to stop making isekai, at least it being the mainstay of everything. I go to try to go do read a new manga. And nowadays, like the isekai manga, there's a good portion of them that start off as in that other world fantasy setting, and then you find out like 2 or 3 chapters later that it was an isekai, and then they continue the isekai path, and I'm like, you could have done, you could have just scrapped
the struggle with isekai is so much of it is bad, and they're pushing too much of it into the anime market with substandard animation, low frame rates, just because people are excited about the genre right now.
It's also because like how like in Japan, there's a huge influx of people who don't want to be, in this world right now in that same sense. They don't want to leave the world in the bad sense, but they also don't want
to. It's escapism for them, and I totally get it. There's so many that are so bad. I mean, what's the original?
Dartha's got a good point right here. There's so many series where you could have scrapped the isekai in its entirety, and it wouldn't have changed the story at all.
Right, because they're only using isekai as a mechanic to contrast what that world is like to this world, and let the MC comment on it openly, instead of just letting the audience see it. And I think honestly, it's insulting to the audience to say.
Minecraft movie did the same thing. When you think about it, it's an escapism thing. It's an isekai. Like they didn't die to go there, but they went to a new world.
Right. Like
Night of the Living Cat.
If
different.
If there's not a thing about this new world that makes the character change or affects the character in a way. Hey, Nicholas, like for example, I know there's a lot of drama and there's a lot of that's not the right word. There's a lot of people have mixed feelings about the show Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation, especially because of the fact that it's like a 36-year-old guy in a kid's body. And he's a creepy horn dog, and he's a bad.
Not even like later on, where like there's been some isekai that go, this is like the character goes, this is really wrong. I really don't like this, and like over time, because he's like learning to live with the fact that he is no longer 30, he is 12, or they are 12, whatever. That's a thing that I understand, because there's this mental thing that's happening with you. You are looking in the mirror, seeing a younger body than what you have an image. Your brain, your chemistry will eventually go right. But his started off with him just going,
Now that being said, him being brought into another world, that's a huge part of his character arc is changing as a person.
Yeah. Although we could have gone without an entire arc of blank dysfunction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
not a better way to see
that was the driver of the story for a while. But
the entire arc of it.
Yeah, that said though, like the changing worlds is the impetus for him to change as a person, instead of just being like, hey, in this old world, I have the ability to steal powers, and I'm in this new world now, and I still have it. Reincarnated as the Slime is fantastic. There's another series that came out 2 seasons ago called Remonster, which someone clearly saw Reincarnated as a Slime and said, I want to make my version of that. And it's a guy who had...
Oh, let me stop you right there. The manga of Remonster came out a little bit before
really? So the anime came much later. It seems like they gloss over the fact that he was a guy. It's like, hey, I lived here and I had this power to eat people and absorb powers, and now I'm this goblin. And they just like rushed it, and I was like, that's kind of cheaply done.
Remonster had a very long, almost I think a year and a half hiatus.
Let me clarify.
In the manga.
I really enjoyed Remonster as a show. From my perception, I was like, this is somebody going, reincarnated slime is cool. This is my version of it, which I have no problem with.
And this is something that we've dealt with in our stuff. Both of us on both sides. We'll share a quick thing. So when we were doing YouTube, we did it together. Always, we've done it together since the start, and there's been no inclination of anyone going, "Oh, well, you're just copying this guy," at all, whatsoever, none. But TikTok and Facebook are two entirely different things. On TikTok, there was a small moment about 3-4 months of Chris getting told, "You're a copy of this guy," because I was on Facebook at first. Then because my Facebook account effectively died, and of course the main one grew as I was putting stuff on the main channel, people were like, "Oh, you're just a bad copy of this guy." And I'm like, and we had that we didn't have it very much on TikTok because we very slowly introduced me as over there. But it was still one of those things where that's going to happen. Whether you're a person, an entire anime series, and whatever, where you're going to have some of that stuff.
And I was telling fans, this would happen on Facebook. We would post before Levi and I had shared the account on Facebook. I would post some of his videos on my account, and people would comment on it and be like, "This guy's a copy," and I'm like, "This is posted on my account, dude." and I didn't even notice. And it's so funny. I appreciate the fans rapidly defending something they love and being like, "Stop copying this thing." And the hardest part was getting to realize he's not copying.
And there's still plenty of people who call me hero support who've never seen a single me take a single villain call, or apparently ever seen the shirt. Like somebody mentioned it. Why is hero support taking it? I'm wearing the freaking shirt that says Member Solutions.
Yeah.
And before I get in there, I got a bunch of people. Levi does Member Solutions. Levi's this. Levi's not hero support. Yeah. And part of that is because every so often, and I don't get to do this to every social media. I pick a social media to do this with because I happen to see the comment. I'll go, "I have never said I am hero support," which is true. There has never been a video of me saying that I am hero support. It's only been periodically I'll get to say, "Hey, it's Member Solutions." And the reason why I don't get to do that opening quite as well is because it's just not something that hits very well.
I loved season 1 of Goblin Slayer. Season 2 lost my attention.
So I've read the manga from start to finish.
Okay.
I am disappointed in the direction. I'm happy that they kept true to the manga as much as they could, but I'm also disappointed that the animation looks the way it does, because it is so much better in the manga drawn. It is so crisper, cleaner.
Oh, sure.
You get, when the dark moments are dark, like they're really dark, it really shows through. And in the animation, from what little I've seen, mind you, they lighten that up. They don't do it as much. And and if they were, that's probably because it would be an R18, because there's legitimate talk of getting SA'd and stuff like that. And there's in the manga,
talk of it straight up happens in like the opening scene. So trigger warning. If that kind of stuff triggers you, the first episode of Goblin Slayer doesn't hint at it. It just does it.
Yeah. So it's one of those things to keep in mind. And going and swinging back to the Minecraft movie, to those that might be joining us right now, seeing how the movie, watching and growing up on Jack Black's comedy movies in particular. I've seen some of his non-comedy movies, mind you. It was so refreshing to watch a movie that had Jack Black in it and it feel like a 90s movie. But that was also a problem with if that makes sense. Because you have a movie that's in 2025.
We were just talking about this, about how people are calling you hero support. Now someone just commented on your Batman video. Why is Batman calling villain support?
Yeah, that is something that's happened. And I was just like, I'm not even going to respond to that. I chose, like, I kept seeing those comments pop up, and there's a lot of comments, a lot of them, and an ungodly amount of comments Sabretooth. Because they never finished, they never got to the point where I mentioned Sabretooth, or they decided not to make another comment. Like, I could have thought of a bunch of people. And I was like, yeah, of course. I could have named 300 people that this could have honestly been. But the first person you think of is Wolverine.
Yep. The first movie I've ever seen Jack Black in was an early 90s movie called Airborne, about a dude who moves from California to somewhere in the Midwest. He's a rollerblader, and he gets into hockey, and Jack Black plays one of the high school bullies in that movie.
I remember watching a lot of different movies of his over the years. I don't remember what was the first movie I watched of his, if I'm going to be honest. The ones that I remember, Tenacious D, it was just over the top, period. Yeah. You've got the rock club, the rock band club, or whatever it was. School of Rock. School of Rock was really fun. A lot of people are gonna be like, "What, you like that?" His version of Gilligan's Island was honestly really fun to watch with my kids. It was stupid. I'm gonna admit it was very stupid, but it was still very fun to watch with my kids. And it was like that stupidity, that over the top funny stuff that was Jack got known for, out of a variety of things. This family friendly version of Jack, that had all this energy. It was nice and refreshing to see him do that again. Yeah. It was nice to see him do the random singing bits, the guaranteed moments of that's not scripted. That was definitely not a scripted moment. That was him just doing something off the fly, and they kept it in the movie.
Yeah. Okay, it is past 11 o'clock here. I'm going to hop off because I have an early day tomorrow.
No problem, Chris. Thank you for joining me and talking anime and whatnot. To everyone here, wait, what?
Oh, I forgot to announce the winners of the shirt contest. I have emails. I need to send those out. I do have the results. Let me read the winners here real quick. One second.
And then we'll do the closing.
All right, yes. So the winners are Nicholas Henderson. Yes, you did win. I apologize. I saw the results and then I got distracted and forgot that they existed. Nicholas, Lashana Tree Runner, Adam Jones, Ian Frigerio, and Chris Chast are the winners. I have their email addresses. I will send those emails out here this evening with links to free shirts. Sorry, Nicholas, thank you for mentioning that because I completely forgot that had happened. Yes. All right. Night, everybody.
Night. Thank you all for joining. Let me do we'll do the closing here.
Okay.
Remember, take it one breath, one step, one day at a time. I wish you peace of mind, serenity by your spirit, and harmony among others. Until the winds blow your sails my way again, have an Acme day. And remember,
have an Acme day is a product of Villain. Having an Acme day will resurrect to the ability of your account. Have an Acme day.
Bye, y'all.